I'll just nail my colours to the mast. For those who don't know me, I'm a comedian, I'm a writer, songwriter, sing songs. Of course, like a lot of people here, I get asked to be patron of many, many charities. And I always write back and say, I don't really have time to do any more charity work. And they write back and say, oh, you just put your name on the letterhead. And then if you do put your name on the letterhead and you don't do anything, you feel really guilty, and they write to you and then you start to hate them. And then you have to have group therapy in a church or plenty of time. So I always say no, I won't just be a letterhead. I will only be associated with a charity that I feel I can help and be part of. Now there's two reasons why I'm on board with Jessie's Fund. One is that I do understand it and I know what it's for and I get it. And the other is that the person who started Jessie's Fund, Leslie, we were at school together. And I'm going to take you back now, in the midst of time. Go back. Before Sif was Jif, before Jif was Sif. When a pint of bitter was 1 penny, and a pint of mild was 11p. What was that? And the Cadbury's Dairy Milk was 6p. And you could get another Cadbury's Dairy Milk for 3p. And you could get one without the paper on for 2p. So you could get fat very cheaply, which was something I took great advantage of. And we were at school together in quite a boring town called Bury in Lancashire. Now Bury is famous for, what is it famous for? It's famous for Sir Robert Peel, who started the modern police service, and it's famous for the Bury black pudding, which is probably the thing that made people invent the ambulance service. And what else did Bury have? It had a co-op and a Dorothy Perkins. And it was a very dull place. It wasn't as exciting as Rochdale, which was the next town. My sister went to school in Rochdale. Oh, and they had a poetry festival and sculpture, and they had Asians. We didn't have any Asians. Exciting like that in Bury. And we went to this very dull school called Bury Grammar School for Girls. And actually, tomorrow is our Founders' Day. And on Founders' Day, we used to process from the school to the parish church wearing gloves. Not just gloves. It would have created more of a stir. And the dinner ladies used to line the road that we set off from and wave to us from the sides. And it was such a boring school. I remember one day in 7 years we had chips. And honestly, 3 people fainted with the excitement. So it wasn't, did we have inspirational teachers? No. All our teachers were 109. And they all wore those suits that looked like they'd been woven from the hair of their own pets. We had one, and we didn't look great either. We had these terrible, when we were in the sixth form, we used to wear pale blue jumpers and grey skirts, and we used to buy our jumpers from Marks and Spencer's, and they all made out of Cortel, which I think has probably been banned now by the Court of Human Rights. And when you washed it, it got bigger and bigger. So you'd start off with a jumper, and it went to a tunic, and then it went to a caftan, and then it went to a beer tent, really. But somebody in our school who wasn't 109, one of the teachers, she started a school orchestra. Now, normally in an orchestra you'd have violins, violas, cellos, double basses, a few woodwind, a few brass. Ours had 36 clarinets. I think because all the girls who played the clarinet, they came in on the train from the north of Manchester and it was easy to carry. And we had 2 girls from Saddleworth who changed buses in Rochdale and they played the flute. And then we had one girl who played the cello, Joy, but that was unfortunate because she looked like a cello. She had sloping shoulders and very big hips. And when she used to plonk it on a chair and sit next to her, you thought, oh, the 2 cellos, oh no, sorry. And we were a really, really terrible orchestra. And we played really slowly. It was like trying to get treacle out of a tin in cold weather. It was like, no. You're waiting for the music to happen. And one of the things we used to play Handel's water music. There's a bit in Handel's water music that goes da 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 dee dee ba da 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 da. We read it like this. And sometimes I hear Handel's water music on the radio and I think, my God, it's like Brands Hatch. Whoosh. These people are on amphetamines. And so music then to us was quite boring, really. It was like doing your bronze lifesaving certificate and only ever diving for a brick. And somehow, keep up with that. Somehow, Leslie managed to shake off the dead hand of our orchestra and become a professional musician. Now, a few years ago, when Leslie had 2 daughters, and the younger of the 2 daughters, Jessie, was diagnosed with a brain tumour. And a fund was raised to send her to America for treatment. And before they could send her, Jessie died. She's 9.5. So there was a pot of money. So Leslie, quite brilliantly, I think, started this charity, which is to put, primarily was to put music therapists, to train music therapists and put them into children's hospices to work with children with life-limiting and very complicated conditions. Because Leslie understood, as so many musicians understand, that music is not about, you know, taking your flute on the bus or practice or exams or qualifications. It's about the music that you have inside of you that expresses who you are, the uniqueness that is you. And if you have a very complicated life because of some condition that you have, because of some prognosis that you have, it's very important that there's something in your life that is just about expressing yourself, expressing how you feel to other people and communicating with other people. And that's what music does. Now we're going to show a bit of a short film which shows some of the work that Jessie's Fund does. Before we show it, I'll just say what you have to remember is that music is a much more subtle and complicated language than any spoken or written language. And if you can give children access to music, well, no matter what their difficulties in hearing, speech, mobility, in understanding, you're giving them a chance to celebrate their humanity, their spirituality, their energy, their creativity, their sense of fun. Now, I know music can do all that. You can't quantify it, you can't write it down, you can't say how it happens, you just know that it happens. Now, these children's lives may be limited in length, they may be limited in scope, but the benefit that they get from music is unlimited. Thank you.